Phew, thank God he's been dealt with and I never have to see him again. Now this leaves only one last area left in this section of the map for us to take care of. So let's go ahead and make our way into the Explodatorium. Right out of the gate we have a nice little bit of level design that I like. There's nothing for us to do here except for go forward, so naturally that's what we do, and as a result we learn that these flame jets are activated by us walking over them. We've learned what they do before we're ever put in danger of them, and after setting these rules they'll be quick to ramp up the challenge. Now do you wonder why this place is called the Explodatorium? Well, look no further than this rat, the worst enemy type in the level. He jumps at you when he approaches, which can make him difficult to hit, but most importantly, when he dies, he explodes. It can be a real pain to deal with if you're not careful, because you can be caught in the explosion. It will do damage to you, even if you've killed him. Now these birds can be pretty frustrating. Even if you manage to kill the bird, it'll keep coming back. And there's only so much you can do to delay this vial from touching the ground. You can knock it back up into the air, but it is just going to come back down, and it is still going to explode when it touches the ground. It's just a constant barrage of garbage that slowly whittles you down more and more throughout the course of the stage. It can be tough to deal with. I almost died. I almost died! Again! That's the theme of this stage. I almost died. Now, sadly, this game is not Super Mario Bros., so you cannot use these lifts to get up and above the stage. There are no warp pipes waiting for us at the end of the level. We cannot skip ahead to World 4. Now this secret up here in the top right can only be gotten if you explode the rat in the right spot. So you have to be careful about not killing him before he's in the right spot. You know, maybe someday I'll actually turn in all of these music sheets. I kind of have 9 right now that I'm just sitting on. They're just sitting there in my inventory. I'll probably do it off screen. I don't really plan on ducking back into the village for a little bit, so I'll probably do it off screen either between this video and the next, or somewhere off screen during the next video. I have not decided on that yet. Oh, I'm not going to spend all my time digging through all of this dirt. There's only like 20 gold in there. So by this section of the stage, the background honestly becomes kind of distracting. While I like this level a lot overall, this is probably one of my least favorite backgrounds in the game. Just aesthetically, I don't think it's fantastic. It's kind of colorful and distracting. I got what they're going for, but just... eh. Now, these spikes on these barrels are not instant kill spikes. They only do damage, which is good, because they're the only type of spikes that move in the game. Now, those spikes on the ceiling, however, are totally instant kill spikes, so you really do have to be careful during this section to not bonk your head and get yourself killed. Coming into this secret room over here, we are introduced to the latest and greatest in the Night Cycle, Green Knights. These guys are very aggressive, and they come equipped with their own pogo attack. Thankfully, with our new throwing anchor and charge attack, we can make pretty short work of them. The alchemy coin is honestly probably my favorite sub-weapon in the game. The way the alchemy coin works is a lot like the drop spark. It travels along the ground, except the alchemy coin will also fall down onto lower levels when it reaches a ledge. It also does more damage than the drop spark. But most importantly, when you kill an enemy with the alchemy coin, they have a chance of dropping more gold than they normally would. I made very liberal use out of this weapon the first time I played through the game. Now, that being said, I did kind of pick this up pretty late in this playthrough, and I'm not really hurting for cash at this point. But still, it is an extremely good weapon all around for its projectile pattern and damage. Okay, this section of the level is kind of the worst, and it's actually one of the very, very rare sections I'm actually going to bust out the, what's it called, phase lock in. Because I'm on a real time crunch here. All of the sections of the floor coming up are destructible, so the bird can destroy it, I could destroy it if I take time trying to kill those blobs, and I really got to get up here before the ground gets destroyed so I can grab this music sheet. That's a real tough one. It puts a lot of pressure on me, even now. This mini-boss is honestly kind of a chump, even if you fight him the intended way of just staying out here into the potion barrage. If I wanted to, I could get beside him on the other side, and he would not be able to hit me with any potions. Likewise, with this monster, all you have to do is pogo on his head, and there's pretty much nothing he can do. He can even get testy with charge attacks there. If I wanted to be sorry. I bat-fingered that button. If I wanted to be really rude, I could chuck out some Chaos Orbs while he's in monster form, and that would smack him multiple times as he passes on by, but I'm not feeling that cruel today. He's not hard, he just takes a lot of hits. So then we have a new variation of the flame jets. These ones are not pressure sensitive, they're just time sensitive. It's a nice little spin on an obstacle that we have already encountered earlier in the stage. So much like Treasure Knight stage, if you find yourself enjoying the music here, this is actually the second of 2 tracks in the game composed by Minami Matsume. I feel in general her vibe compared to Jake Kaufman's is a lot more downbeat and chill. Not that I don't like the rest of the soundtrack, it is a lot of fun, I love it a lot. And even when playing through the game for the first time, I couldn't possibly have told you that these 2 songs were written by someone else. But it's definitely something that in retrospect, looking back on it after the fact, it is fairly apparent to me. Well, this is peculiar. There's this failed clone of Shovel Knight just wandering around down there, and he kind of seems to react to my actions. It's kind of sickening, if I'm being honest. Let's put an end to this moral atrocity. Whew, close one. Real close call, guys. Glad that's been taken care of. Hopefully there will be no more grim spectacles like that in our future. Ah, well, fiddlesticks. So now we're getting into the final stretch of the stage. If you go down to the bottom path, it can be a lot trickier than if you come up here up top. If you go down to the bottom, the clone Shovel Knights can pogo through the dirt and fall down at you, and it's very easy to get knocked into pits. And then also this spider projectile thrower at the end is real good about hitting you, and it can be hard to tell where the projectiles are going to go because they're so tiny, and it's just, I'd much rather take the safer route up top. It's a lot easier to handle. We are already at the end of the level. Nothing left but the boss. Trust me, you're gonna want that checkpoint. Plague Knight is a nightmare for new players. I honestly feel bad for anybody who came to fight him first out of these 3 bosses. Now that being said, fighting him when you're experienced with the game is a lot of fun. The environment is variable. You can't destroy it, but Plague Knight sure can with all the bombs that he chucks at you. He has tons of different bombs that he'll bust out. Some of them just explode, some of them create a pillar of flame, and some of them will create 2 balls of fire that travel along the ground. And when he's not throwing 1 bomb at a time, he's throwing 3, or he's barraging you with a whole bunch at the same time. And on top of the bombs, he also spawns those vats that, if a bomb hits a vat, the vat will explode an even bigger explosion, and if there's any other vats in the vicinity of that explosion, those vats will explode too, and it's just this big chain reaction. Now you'd think with that much firepower, Plague Knight would just be a matter of getting through all of it and working towards him, but he's honestly one of the most nimble bosses in the entire game, and he never stands in one spot for very long. It's an extremely tough battle. It's a hectic battle that mostly relies on you knocking his own attacks back at him. But on replays, he's one of the fights I look forward to the most.